Okay, we'll call the Health and Public Safety Committee to order. Um, but I do have a question, Mr. Palmer, on quorum. We have got the roster pulled up. There are 6 members, 5 council members, and 1 citizen member. Our quorum requirement is 3, or is it 4? 4. So we do need the citizen member to come. I think he's on his way in the building, was trying to get through security downstairs. Not yet. So, Mr. Palmer. So, Mr. Palmer, and maybe City Attorney Thoreau. So if we do not get a quorum, my understanding is the executive order lasts for 7 days. This would extend that executive order, our resolution. The options then, if we don't get a quorum here in a bit, would be potentially another executive order. Is that an option? Or a special meeting by the council? That when another option may be approval of by the Board of Public Works. They're the ones that actually approve shutoffs. Is that an option? I don't know that that's.
We need the citizen member to get a quorum.
What could we,
Okay.
is there no recommendation?
I'm actually online and I'm walking in
Oh.
now.
Well, great.
Great.
I'm at the
Great.
front desk if anybody wants to help me get to that room.
Sure. Can we have somebody from staff? This City Attorney Thoreau is headed down to get you, Mr. Rivera.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience, everyone.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Rivera. Thank you. I think we have a seat right over here. Yep, right there is fine. Okay, so with that, I will now take attendance. And Vice Chair, Councilmember Thomas Morgan was called out of town for a family emergency. So this time we'll do a roll call vote. Dr. Davis, Councilmember McBride,
Present.
and Citizen Member Rivera. So we have a quorum. Our one and only item on the agenda is Bill 2548. For presentation on that bill, I will turn it over to President Lee.
Thank you, Chair. Resolution 2548 is a resolution on behalf of the South Bend Common Council consenting to the renewal or continuance of a declaration of local disaster emergency to any other order or proclamation lawfully terminates local disaster emergency, or the passage of a resolution by the Common Council revoking this consent. Based on the health and safety and welfare of our residents are being jeopardized by the federal government's suspicion of SNAP programs, the consequent hardship to many of our residents supports a declaration of a local disaster emergency under Indiana state statute. Such a declaration may not be continued or renewed for more than 7 days except by or with the consent of the common council. This creates a lapse if the council consents only at its regular meeting held approximately every 14 days. This proposed resolution provides the common council's continuing consent to continue or renew the local disaster emergency until the next subsequent full common council meeting unless the local disaster emergency is earlier terminated. I have Mr. Daryl Scott from the mayor's office, who's also here. If there's anything else we need to add to this. Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Committee members, questions from,
So basically, we won't have to keep coming back. We have to do this every so often, or will this be, when we have to come back to revisit?
I believe that this will allow us to be able to, we won't have to reintroduce this every council meeting, correct?
I believe we will. It continues only until the next full council meeting.
Okay.
So we will have to revisit it at every full council meeting.
Oh, so every 2 weeks,
hmm
basically, so it's a check-in to see if the crisis is still going on.
Mhm.
Correct. The executive order itself can only be extended for 7 days unless the council gives consent to extend it longer. And since we only meet every 14 days, there would be a lapse of time if we didn't pass this resolution.
Coming up in, just for clarity, in our December meeting, we typically only have one meeting in December, that, second Monday. Meet again until that second Monday of, January. If perchance the crisis is still going on, then do we have to come back during that period of time in 14 days? Or do we, does that, go through the Christmas season and we come back after the new year?
It goes through the Christmas season because it continues until the next council meeting.
So it's not based on a particular date, it's when the
Correct.
council meeting.
Correct.
And, that opening more, when we just do the election of the officers, that would not count of that. That would be considered the full council meeting schedule of which has been published, correct?
No, that would not. That's an organizational meeting.
I have clarity.
The only thing that can be considered at the organizational meeting is the election of officers.
Okay. Thank you for that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If we exhaust the amount that was allocated originally, does that allow us do we have to meet again to be able to determine if there's another additional portion that's given? Because we're in a holiday season and we have to understand during these cold times, people kind of eat more and they need more. So is there more of an allocation that's going to be provided, or is there just a specific limit and we're sticking to that?
That would be up to the mayor's office. They're not asking the council for approval of the funding itself, only for the establishment of the local disaster.
Understood.
So if there is more money that needs to be donated, it will either come through another executive order, or if we have to allocate specific funds from the budget, that would have to come through the council.
Understood. Thank you.
yeah, I think for clarification, this resolution is only for the moratorium on utility shutoffs.
Understood.
The funding, the dollars actually came through budgeted items already.
Understood.
So as Mr. Palmer said, if there was to be additional funds, they would either have to be budgeted or in some allocation by the council. So,
Thank you for clearing that up.
So this moratorium is strictly regarding the utility, shutoffs and what can be done or cannot be done at that time.
Correct. It deals only with utility shutoffs, this executive order.
And that's also only the people that are in the utility assistance program.
So they have to be registered for this to be a part of it.
Yes. That's what's been said from day one, is that those individuals were part of the utility assistance program.
Councilmember White? Karen, is your mic on?
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Can we add clarity to what that means, the shut off? And one, they have to be, part of that program,
Mhm.
and that the shutout does not indicate that you still don't have to pay your bill.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that that needs to be clarified.
Yeah.
I'm not saying in this right here, but somehow we need to clarify that for our citizens.
So I see Miss,
A lot of misunderstanding, at least what I have heard so far.
thank you. I agree. I see Mr. Scott's taking notes back there. I agree with Miss White, but a little more clarity to the community on the shut-offs and what it means and how it works.
I would agree as a fellow community member. And I
beneficial.
work with schools, our South Bend schools, our Boys and Girls Club. So a lot of families who would definitely benefit from that being explained to them a lot more clear.
Because, this past Friday, there was I was at a setting and a person was sharing about their renter was not, they wanted to cut off the, water and everything else, the renter was not paying. And I thought, based on my understanding of, like it's been, that as long as they're not on that program, that the owner has a right to do something similar to that. But then there was another discussion that said, no, their renters told them that the mayor has this, out here, the
Moratorium.
moratorium.
Yeah.
That he told his renter, his owner, that he could not do that because of the moratorium. And I was trying to explain that, but I didn't have all this in front of me to explain it. And so I concur with what you are saying and what Ms. Councilwoman White is saying, and what the president's saying here, because that renter took it to believe that I don't have to do anything to pay anything because we under this moratorium. And so you can't do nothing to touch me kind of attitude was presented to the landlord. And then the landlord called me and I was trying to explain what you had just said. But, I didn't, again, I was not in the kind of caught me off guard regarding that. So I think that would be clarity, because when people are literally thinking that I don't have to pay this, I don't have to do this until February or whatever, then they get caught with the bill, then they're gonna blame us for the kind of thing.
Now, was the client that your landlord had, were they a SNAP benefit person, and were they enrolled in the utility assistance program?
To my knowledge, no. That's why I was explaining to him that he could probably go ahead, but I needed to get clarification.
So to make it clear for everybody, the shut-offs are only applicable to people who receive SNAP benefits and are part of our utility assistance program. No?
No. Just
UAP.
repeat.
UAP, I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say.
Okay. Councilmember McBride, you have any questions or comments?
No, I am listening and following along, so I appreciate the clarity because all of those questions were answered now, especially getting that information out to the public and clarifying the difference between who makes the decisions about additional funding versus the council's oversight with just a resolution. So everything is clarified for me. Thank you.
Thank you. See Councilmember Bolden Simpson.
Thank you, Chair Warner. I have a question about if a person signs up for the utility assistance program and they qualify next week, and then the moratorium will still apply to them?
Yes.
Yes, is that correct?
Let that defer Mr. Scott or
Okay.
city attorney, somebody from the administration. Okay, we'll have that answer at 7 PM.
Okay,
We
and then I
believe once they're enrolled, but they want to make sure.
okay, that's important because I do know, being the chairman of the utility committee, that we do believe that many more people are qualified for that program, but they haven't signed up for one reason or another. So we need to get that out there. And then another point of question. I do believe, maybe this is a question for our honorable president, that several times you use the word utility, and water is the only city utility, and I'm the chairman of that committee, and that perhaps this could have been a joint meeting. Just want you to think about that, or because I see why it could be held, but definitely I do believe that this should have been a joint meeting with the utility. This is the second time kind of something like that happened. There was another meeting about forever chemicals in the water, and that issue was not applied to the utility committee. My constituents have voted for me and to represent them, and I have been placed as the chairman of the utility committee, and they expect me to do my job, which I'm honored to do.
Thank you very much.
Do we have any other council members with questions online? Or comments?
So,
Hang on just a second, Dr. Davis. Give them a second. Hearing none, Dr. Davis?
thank you. So, in our next meeting coming up, on the 24th, we will bring this up again. And at that time, will that be a joint meeting? Should that be a joint meeting at that time for? Actually, we'll cover this each other.
Yeah, somebody please mute. Whoever,
I mean, either the president or through our council attorney.
can you mute the individual online, please? Thank you.
That's fine.
Please, is everybody online, please mute yourselves. You get it? Thank you. Sorry, there was that
Okay,
feedback.
No.
Why don't you,
I'll ask some questions to our council attorney, whichever one, whether that would be a joint meeting.
We could do that.
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, seeing none, at this time, we'll open it up to the public. Any members of the public online wishing to speak in favor of resolution number 2548, either in person or online?
Mr. Geiger, are you looking to speak in favor or against?
Sorry, in favor.
All right, then please state your name and address.
Yeah, Jordan Geiger, 302 South Falcon Street. I want to speak in favor of the emergency declaration, and I just had a questions about, like, I think there's a lot of uncertainty, or a lot of outstanding questions about how this program will function, and I'm wondering, to Councilwoman Bolden Simpson's point, can there be another hearing held that kind of lays out, how this program will operate, and, how it will be evaluated? Because I think there's still outstanding questions, like, yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Henry, please unmute yourselves and state your name and address.
I did. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Great. Henry Davis Jr., 5117 Ottawa Drive, South Bend, Indiana. 46619 is my address. I am standing in favor, or speaking in favor of this resolution. I think it was a great idea. I don't think that what's happening is what's happening here locally. No one's laying the blame on anyone, right? I don't think anyone understood that this was going to happen. But now that it has happened, how do we, as a local municipal government, respond to something like this? I've made comments in the newspaper about crime, and usually that is the first thing that takes off. People who are malnourished, or folks who are hungry, even yourselves, throughout the day, you can catch yourself being a little bit irritated a lot quicker when you're more hungry. So imagine that being something that is lived out 24 hours out of the day. I think it will be prudent for this committee to reconvene to get more information, particulars on how this thing will actually work. I think that the press conference was okay, but I don't think it being spelled out about the monies, the amount of money, and who is our a target audience was never spelled out. We're talking about poverty, folks, and South Bend has a very high poverty rate and has had one for some time. And I think if we continue to ignore what is in front of us, it can only get worse. So one solution I do offer, and I've said this before when I was on council, is that the council should look at enacting a pilot program, pay in lieu of taxes. That's pilot, and a pilot could help support things in an emergency sense, no different than a rainy day fund, et cetera. But it also creates another avenue for revenue to flow in, to be captured, and also to be spent on such things. This could be an expenditure because of the emergency purposes of it. I hope that this council really takes this seriously. This is not something, again, that we have predicted. This is something that is happening. And I think that over the past several couple weeks, maybe, we've seen how other local municipalities, local governments have responded. Some folks I've seen give $1 million. I've seen the governor over there in Maryland give quite a bit of money. I even saw today that there may be partial payments coming from the state of Indiana. Have we written our legislators? Have we called our legislators in? Have we written the governor? Have we asked or requested the governor release the funds? I mean, there are so many things that could be done legislatively to help uh, pr- prove our point, but also push our point, and hopefully we get something at the end of it. But the last thing I want to say, and one last thing I want to see, is that we have hungry kids attending these schools, and you know what happens when that happens in a big way. It's nothing good that's going to come out of it. And so we also should pull in our school corporation to see how this going is affecting us or impacting them as well. I'm finished. Thank you for allowing me to speak. And you guys, again, let's move forward. And thank you.
Lee Gloucester, are you speaking in favor of the bill? Please unmute yourself. Lee Gloucester. Lee Gloucester, can you please unmute? Lee, if you're able to type your question or statement, we can add that into the public record if you're not able to unmute.
Do we have anybody else who'd like to speak on resolution 2548?
I do not see anyone else.
Give Mr. Gloucester another minute. Okay, with that, there'll also be an opportunity to speak at the 7 o'clock hour. So we're going to go ahead and close the public hearing at this time, bring it back to committee members. Any other comments? If not, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to bring to the floor council, Bill number 2548 in the committee of the whole, I should say, with a favorable recommendation.
I will second. We have a roll call vote, please.
Committee Member McBride,
Aye.
Committee Member Dr. Davis, Committee Vice Chair Warner,
Aye.
Citizen Member Savina Rivera.
Aye.
Thank you. 2548 will go to 7 PM out with a favorable recommendation. With that, we will adjourn the Health and Public Safety meeting. Thank you, Mr. Rivera.
Okay, I would like to now call the Personnel and Finance Committee to order. I'm the vice chair. Chairperson Sheila Niskoski had indicated to me at least about a week or so that she could not be present. And so you would call the roll for us, please.
Committee Member Tomas Morgan,
We had a family emergency today.
Yeah. So she won't be here correctly?
correct.
Due to emergency.
Yep, she's absent due to a family emergency. Committee Member Dr. Davis, Committee Vice Chair White,
Present.
and Committee Chair Nitzkowski is absent.
And we don't have any citizens members for this committee.
We do not have any citizen members.
So as you look at it, at this point, we do not have a quorum. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so since we do not have a quorum, Attorney Palmer, could you kind of just share what the actions would be, what we can and cannot do?
Without a quorum, the committee can do nothing. It cannot table a bill, it cannot adjourn, it cannot even come into session. It can make no recommendations whatsoever to the committee of the whole. It just simply no meeting has occurred because there is not a quorum.
Unfortunate, okay.
So therefore, let everything roll over to the next.
That's correct,
Mhm.
correct.
That I request, that will be.
To take action for it.
Yes. December 8th meeting.
Some of the- so
Mhm.
that will be.
Got to vote for it.
Cor- Correct.
Okay.
Now, question for you, since this was not heard today and it's not on that, on the floor, about, deal, because typically, if we, on the agenda, they normally can come to talk about it. However, since it's not gonna be on, given the fact that we have not had this, that, and about their concerns regarding any matters.
My opinion is yes, they can.
Thank you, sir.
Well, at this point, since we do not have a quorum, the Person and Finance Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting will be at 4:45, Community Investment.
One more thing, but it had nothing to do.
Hmm.
My microphone, on hear me? Can you hear me?
Mhm.
You gotta push the button down.
You gotta push, okay,
And then you can turn it on and off.
okay, fine, sorry. No problem. So basically, okay, got that off. Okay. All right, cool. It seemed like it had a light there, but that wasn't a regular light. So you're saying then tonight, the people at the privilege of the floor can talk about it, but they cannot do that. Okay, I'm at peace.
That's my
Okay, cool.
We'll go ahead and start the Community Investment Committee meeting. Start with roll call. Councilmember White,
Present.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers, Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Present.
and
Present.
Citizen Member Kanajeski.
Present.
I think I got an email from Citizen Member Gripe, who would not be able to attend. We do have a quorum, so we'll go ahead. The first bill is Resolution 2546, a confirming resolution for tax abatement for Michigan Motorsports on William Richardson Court. So every tax abatement there's a kind of a two-step process, two different bills. A designating resolution and a confirming resolution, they have to be passed at separate meetings. So 2 weeks ago, we heard and passed the designating resolution. This process results in the petitioner actually coming to council for both two committee hearings and the full council member for total of 4 meetings. We appreciate you coming. And so tonight we've got the confirming resolution that was approved 2 weeks ago as a designating resolution. So with that, Mr. Molnar, welcome. Do we have that mic on?
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
All right. We're working out the bugs as we go along.
Yes. Joe Molnar, Assistant Director of Growth and Opportunity Office on the 5th floor. Very fitting that we have a tax abatement that plans both the County City Building and new City Hall in its approval. So as Council Member Warner had stated, Council did see this 2 weeks ago, so I'll do an abbreviated version of the same presentation given then. This would be a warehouse development tax abatement for a new construction at 3315 William Richardson Court on the far northwest side of the city of South Bend. Shown in a zoomed in picture on your right. The parcel is currently vacant and has been so for the duration of its existence in its current format as part of an industrial park. It's an approximate 7-acre vacant parcel and the last remaining parcel in the existing industrial park. The property is zoned I industrial, allowing for warehouse and distribution. The confirming resolution confirming resolution before you today would be for 7 years to help incentivize Michigan Motorsports, which is a thriving auto parts supply business that currently operates out of Niles, Michigan, out of approximately 7,500 square feet. They're actively seeking and have been looking for the past year or so, looking to grow their business and grow to a new space. And they approached the city of South Bend to see if there was somewhere in South Bend that it would be beneficial for them to come here. And this parcel was identified. It's currently owned by the Redevelopment Commission, which has approved an active purchase agreement with Michigan Motorsports for the construction of a 50,000 square foot office, warehouse, and distribution center and showroom with a purchase price of $50,000 and a commitment to invest $4.45 million in a new construction. All told, once the project would be completed and all jobs moved over from their current location, anticipated 29 new full-time employees to the city of South Bend with an estimated annual payroll of just over 2.1 million. On the left, you can see just a rendering or a mock drawn up of how it might work, but a traditional warehouse and office combination. The details of the tax abatement, even though the property is currently owned by the Redevelopment Commission and therefore doesn't pay property taxes, if it did pay property taxes, if it was in private hands, it would only pay approximately $2,562 due to being vacant land. After the project would be completed with the construction of the new building, estimated annual property taxes would be a little over $83,000. So obviously a marked increase over the current vacant lot. During the 7-year abatement, so this includes the abatement, that estimated taxes would be $581,000. Approximately 317,000 of those abated and 264,000 paid. So even with the tax abatement in place, still paying $264,000 in property taxes over the 7-year abatement period. And just for reference, after 10 years of the project completion, even with the abatement, looking at $488,000 in property taxes paid compared to the $25,000 without the project. I'm happy to answer any questions that the committee might have, and representatives from Michigan Motorsports, Dan and Easter are here as well, if you have any questions for them.
Right, thank you. Committee members, any questions? Seeing none online. Committee member Bolden Simpson, any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Council members, council members online. Okay, we'll go to the public hearing. Any members of the public wishing to speak on resolution 2546, either in favor or against, anyone online or in person?
I do not see anyone wishing to speak in favor or against the bill.
Okay, with that, we'll close the public hearing, bring it back to committee members. Any other questions, comments?
I think I'm on chair, to the chair. I move that we send this to the full, to the council with favorable recommendation.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Can you do a roll call, please, for us?
Committee member Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
committee member Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
citizen member Kane Kenajetsky.
Aye.
Committee vice chair White.
Aye.
Committee chair Warner.
Aye.
All ayes.
Thank you. The bill will go forward to 7 p.m. with a favorable recommendation. We'll see you again then. And with that, community investment is adjourned. Somebody find our zoning chair. We will need him for a quorum.
So, I don't know if we have to announce, but the petitioner has the documents for, the first item,
Okay.
for physical.
We'll wait for our chair to show up to start the meeting. Yeah, appreciate it. Mr. Dr. Davis will be the chair. He'll be sitting here. Mr. Danch, Dr. Davis is chair. He'll be sitting here. Ms. Odom is also on the committee. Thank you. It's the evening of waiting. he was here for committee meeting right before mini investment, so.
As long as the lights.
Okay, you can speak.
Yeah, three of us here, right? Go to mercy. This thing is not funny. Really is. I don't like that. We have, what you comes here? Troy. Okay. Let's see what we have. Apologize and we ready to roll. Who's doing the roll? Pardon me? Okay. Okay, cool. My mic is on. I think so. Okay, cool.
Alrighty. Could you please take the roll?
Councilmember White. Councilmember Warner.
Present.
Citizen member Henry Davis Jr. is absent. Citizen member Stacy Odom.
Present.
Committee Vice Chair Tomas Morgan is absent. And Committee Chair Dr. Davis.
I'm here.
We have quorum.
Glad to be here. And we are going to hear bill number 4525, the annexation of property located at southeast corner of Willis Avenue and Dunn Road.
Mike's not on. There we go. Tim Staub, zoning specialist for the Department of Community Investment with offices on the 5th floor. Before you is the, do we want to see how it was, how it came from the Plan Commission?
Pardon me? No, you're going fine.
No, okay. Before you is the rezoning, for the annexation, before you is the rezoning and annexation of 54,528 Willis Avenue through 54,650 Willis Avenue. This would zone the 7 parcels to U3 Urban Neighborhood 3 when annexed by the city. The applicant intends to construct 5 multi-unit residential multi-unit buildings in the stacked flat building type. So let's get this going. There we go. The 7 parcels are currently occupied by 5 single-unit detached homes that were built in the 1960s. So here's kind of what the layout is at this time. But kind of over time, this area has developed as it is adjacent to the University of Notre Dame. And over the past, over the past 20 years, as we move forward, you'll start to see more and more mixture of townhomes and stacked flats and getting developed. As they are within a certain distance from the University of Notre Dame. And there has been significant commercial development along South Bend Avenue as well. Properties east and south are zoned U3, which would be the zoning district that the applicant is seeking with this annexation. The properties to the west are in the county and they are zoned for a planned unit development, which is the townhomes and the stacked flat apartment structures that are to the west. And then to the north is zoned R single family district. So here are some of the renderings for the project. This is from the corner of Willis Dunn. This is about midway down the block. This is down Willis looking north. This is looking southeast from up high, looking to the northeast. Looking southwest and kind of seeing behind the structures. Here is the site plan for the 5 structures. So in terms of rezoning, this petition is consistent with the city plan. It is particularly consistent with land use 6.1, promote orderly and planned growth that expand from the current city limits as it is continuous from the boundaries. And it is consistent with land use 7.2, require annexation of contiguous properties to be serviced by city utilities as there are existing water lines going along Willis and Dunn. The rezoning is consistent with the surrounding properties. The properties to the south and east are already zoned U3, and this rezoning would be a continuation of these developments. Properties to the west would be permitted in the U3 zoning district. If annexed and rezoned, any multi-unit development would need to go through the city's commercial plan review, which requires input from the Board of Public Works that would make sure that the project meets the the city's utility and stormwater standards. And this petition comes to you from the Plan Commission with a favorable recommendation.
Okay. And do we have our presenter, petitioner? Thank you. Oh, my old buddy. Hey, Mr. Dance. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing?
Hello, Mike
That's
Danch
good.
from Dan
That's
Charter and
cool.
Associates, 1643 Commerce Drive.
Is that mic on?
Do what?
Is your
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll just
south.
lean over a lot and we'll be fine. No big deal. So what the staff had said is what we're asking to do is right there at the southeast corner of Dunn and Willis, there are 5 existing homes. We would like to annex that and bring it into the city of South Bend to do basically a condo development. The site plan that I gave you
Mhm.
shows that preliminary development into 5 buildings. What we're asking to do is to take this to the U3 category, which would
Okay.
allow for the, what you're going to see is a 3-story, 4-story building, condo development. There's going to be access off of both Dunn Road and also off of Willis. The number of units that they're planning to do is 138 condominium units on this. In order to do what we need, though, we need to bring it into the city of South Bend. So as part of this, we have to do an annexation. So from the annexation standpoint per law, what we're actually bringing is the entire width of Willis Street and also the entire width of Dunn Road. So that's part of this particular development. So when you see that, part of the engineering requirements that were asked of us and the developer was that anything that would happen along both Dunn Road and also Willis Street, those have to be brought up to city standards. We had gone through the procedure with the South Bend Plan Commission. Prior to that, we actually had 2 Zoom meetings for all the neighbors. We did a second one just prior to the Plan Commission meeting. There were a couple concerns that came out of that particular meeting. We will address those with the site plan that we're going to go over. One of the ones that the South Bend Plan Commission gave us a favorable recommendation. They were also acting as the Board of Zoning Appeals in this particular case. They did grant us a variance for the length of building. So along Dunn Road, what you're going to see is a building that is allowed to be 133 feet instead of the maximum 120 foot. What the
Wow.
developers agreed to in this particular case, also because of any concern for any kind of impact, the building on the very north end of Dunn Road would be limited to 3 stories. The other buildings going south along Willis would be a maximum of 4 stories. If you're familiar with this particular area, as the staff had just mentioned, to the east of this is the existing apartment complex, so we're butting right up against that. Across the street on the north side of Dunn, there's a couple of single-family homes. That's why we were doing the lower building along Dunn Road. And then to the west are the duplexes, and I had actually designed that particular site. So those would be facing this Willis and this particular development. If you've seen those townhomes, the homes that face along Willis, the lower level are the garages, and then the second and third floor from that are the livable areas. What we will also be doing is extensive landscaping both along Willis and Dunn Road per the city requirements. Those require us to put in trees and landscaping along all the buildings. One of the other issues that had come up was the safety issue. We'll be doing also curbing. We'll be doing sidewalks along both Willis and Dunn Road. That's a requirement by the city of South Bend. This will be hooked up to city water and sewer. One of the other kind of comments that came out of the city engineering department is the developer be fully responsible to hook this up to the city sewer line. This particular area is serviced by lift stations. So the developer will probably be spending in excess of $500,000 to bring those lift stations up to city standards to handle this particular development. I think one of the other requirements that the city had mentioned was that out here right now, the city only has 6-inch water lines. We'll be required to update that and bring the capacity higher to an 8-inch water line. What that will do is both service this area, but not only our development, but the surrounding areas as well for emergency purposes and for safety reasons. So that's the main part of this development. The things that we will always do is, besides having the 138 units, we developed this site. If you saw the kind of the schematics for this, the parking area for this will be along the very east side between us and the apartment complex. What we tried to do is screen that parking area from the street view from both Dunn Road and also from Willis. These units will also have covered garages underneath the buildings. And so we're going to have about 214 parking spaces for the 138 units. It's about 1.5 parking spaces per unit itself. Any kind of lighting will be shielded so that you can't have what we call light spillage off of this property onto any adjacent properties. So that has to be handled. That would be part of the final site plan. There was a concern that one of the residents had that going down Willis from Dunn, there's a hill that you go up and over, if you're familiar with this particular area, the drive that goes into Martin's Supermarket, and then it goes down to Van Ness. So we will take a look at that, and if there's any kind of issues that the city engineering department sees, maybe some kind of signage to help that particular situation. The residents had a little bit of a concern about the width of the roads. Willis, obviously, and Dunn are out in the county. These, again, as I had mentioned, will be brought up to city standards. That means that if the engineering department looks at that, those streets will become wider. What they also asked us to do from a drainage standpoint is also handle the drainage on both Willis and Dunn Road. We'll have to take that water and bring it onto our site and actually not only do our surface runoff, but also the runoff for those roadways so that there's no issues with drainage from this development onto any adjacent property. What we would hope for is ask for your favorable approval. If you've got any questions for me, I'd be glad to answer them.
So how soon, with your improvements that you are sharing from the residents, when will those be put into place?
You mean the actual buildings or?
No, not the building, but you said you are going to be putting these things that the residents have.
That would be part of when we do the final site plans and when you
Okay.
actually start building. So the way the city works is that assuming that we received approval from council, then we have to submit a final site plan. That final site plan would not only include the buildings and the site itself for the site improvements, but it would also have to show any kind of improvements for Willis Street and Dunn Road.
Okay.
Those would be required to do as part of the construction for the project. So usually what they would end up doing is holding back any kind of occupancy for the development until those got approved. So that would be done in conjunction with the building.
Okay. Questions? Go ahead.
I've got a few. So I guess my questions, one are kind of timeline. Second, I agree with that hill there.
Yeah.
You also I kind of go that way to go to Martin's a lot. That's my Martin's that I shop at. You also see a lot of the students because this is right there by campus student housing. They're very often walking in the street because there's not a lot of sidewalks. So I know you can't put sidewalks in the area that aren't your development, but for your development, will there be some sidewalks that help get down there?
Yeah, we would be able to go all the way down to our south property line and then also go all the way to our east property line on Dunn Road on the south side. When I did the development across the street, we did that as a safety issue also. We put the sidewalk along the west side of Willis and also on the south side of Dunn Road, just for that issue you were talking about, for any students that were walking along that area.
Yeah, I think any kind of development now in that area, you got to have some sidewalks. The students are always kind of walking everywhere especially the hill there.
Yeah.
Every time you come over that hill, there's somebody walking from the grocery store with their bags and down into the.
Yeah, and one of the other things probably the city will take a look at, because this is now obviously going to become part of the city, is any kind of street lighting requirements, because as well as I do, there's no street lights out there right now.
Yeah, so I guess timeline, and then my kind of final question is, I know this is still preliminary planning and you got a ways to go, but what's the anticipated construction costs that we're looking?
If everything goes well, the timeline would probably be to get under construction in the spring, most likely. That would give us time to go through, do the engineering, meet with the engineering staff. I think that what the engineering department wanted to do, and I think they may have already started some of that, depending on what happens here this evening if we receive approval. They were going to go start checking their lift stations. The couple that were along on the north side of Dunn Road, kind of right at our northeast corner, just west of New London Lake. There's a set of lift stations right there that they were going to check to see exactly what kind of improvements happen. The other one would be the lift station at Van Ness and State Road 23, because all the sewage basically runs up, it goes down Ironwood, back down South Bend Avenue to that particular lift station. So there might be two of them that we will actually have to do development on. Probably from a cost standpoint right now, just in the ballpark, probably over 110 million, 135 million. And it seems like every single day the costs are going up for materials and everything that's going to happen. So depending on all the site improvements, that may get exceeded.
Thank you. Okay. Any other question? Councilwoman,
I just have one, and hope I'm reading this correctly. The buildings that are 4 stories, will they, have the walkable rooftops? Am I looking at this correctly?
I'll let Sam from the architecture. So you're limited when you do that in the city of South Bend. And that was one of the things they wanted to make sure of. They're also going to be doing a parapet wall along that top portion as well. So under the city requirements under U3, the maximum height of the building is 5 stories or 55 feet, but then you're allowed to have, I think it's a 4-foot parapet wall. So that helps that issue as well. But I'll let Sam go ahead and answer the question about the actual architecture of the building. So that changed a little bit from the Plan Commission, but basically what the Plan Commission ended up doing was asking us to do the separate buildings, the 5 separate buildings, instead of what we were doing previously would have been the 3 buildings. They had more of an issue with the facade length. So they thought if we split that up, that would make more sense. There'd be less impact from a streetscape standpoint.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Sam Limo with Keel Architecture at 1126 Lincoln Way East. Yeah, so previously we had community space on the top floor, so essentially 5 stories. It would have been set back from the parapet wall, but would still be counted as a story. But currently we are including some rooftop space, but no inhabitable space on the top floor. So that's allowed in U3. All we would have is basically a little vestibule to the elevator, and then exit stairs for anyone that's on the roof deck, but no interior space. And yeah, the max we're allowed is 4 stories without a variance under U3. So that's what we're sticking to.
Okay, thank you.
okay. Any other questions? Council? Okay, cool. All righty. Now are you finished or your president?
There's 2 portions of this. So there's the annexation and the rezoning, which we're presenting now, and then there's the fiscal plan, which we present next. So, but yeah.
You want to put it all in one thing and then we vote on it? Okay. All right. Let's go for it.
All right. So we'll present on the.
Pardon me?
Okay.
Okay, motion to hear the bill number 25, the fiscal plan, and establishing a policy for the provision of services to the Willis Dunn annexation area in Clay Township.
So moved.
Okay, you got a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now you can proceed. Thank you, council. I appreciate that. Did y'all speak up a little? I'm straining
That's
hard.
because I don't have the mic on.
It's hard to hear you.
That's all right. No worries. Tim Staub, zoning specialist for the Department of Community Investment with offices on the 5th floor. And annexation has been requested by the property owner of 7 parcels at the southeast corner of Willis Avenue and Dunn Road. The proposed annexation is approximately 4.9 acres and meets the state law for contiguity requirement. Contiguity requirement, sorry. No capital improvements are planned by the city now as a part of this annexation. Water and sewer are both available from Willis Avenue and Dunn Road. A portion of Willis Avenue and Dunn Road right-of-way would be added to the city. The Willis Dunn annexation area will be added to Common Council's 4th district, will be served by Police Beat 11, Fire Station 3, the McKinley Avenue Station, and Neighborhood Services and Enforcement Area 6. I then asked for the committee's favorable recommendation for the fiscal plan for this annexation area, but would happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Okay, any questions we have from the council? Buddy? Okay. Anybody else from the council? Okay. Any other question that anybody else? It concludes your presentation?
Yes.
Okay, we would now go to a public hearing. Those who like to speak in favor, whether you're online or whether you are here and present, please share your thoughts. Come forth if you're in present, or raise your hand online so the clerk can call you, upon you.
I do not see anyone wishing to speak for or against the bills.
Okay, let me just put one more for the record. For anybody who would like to speak against it, please do likewise if you're in present or you're online. You've confirmed that you don't see anyone. So we now close public hearing. Thank you for the water. And now we bring it back to the committee for your pleasure. Or questions or whatever you'd like to do.
So we'll start with the first bill. I believe, correct me, Attorney Palmer, that one needs a delay, right? We don't hear that one, so that will be at the next meeting. So I would send Bill 25 or 4525 forward with a favorable recommendation to our next council meeting.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, but about this, you can take the roll.
Yep. Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Citizen Member Stacy Odom,
Aye.
Committee Chair Dr. Davis.
Aye.
It passes.
Okay, thank you. And also, bill number 2540.
Make a motion to send Bill 2540 forward with a favorable recommendation.
Okay.
I second that motion in
Okay, it's
regard
been
to
moved and
Bill
second.
2540.
That is correct. Go ahead. Mr. Clerk.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Citizen Member Stacy Odom,
Aye.
Committee Chair Dr. Davis.
Aye.
4
So
ayes.
we'll see you tonight for the bill 2540. Okay. Thank you. Now we move to bill number 7025, special exception 1417 West Indiana Avenue.
This is just a quick clarification regarding the last one, because the second reading is supposed to be for tonight. And then the third reading is supposed to be for next month. Correct? Because this is an annexation. All right, so should they still send it, or this be treated as the second reading? Okay. Okay.
Not tonight.
Well, no, she was still good. Hmm? You don't have, can you get her an agenda? Agenda. Thank you. All right, now back to, bill number 7025.
Yes. Hello, committee members. Mark Delastrito, zoning specialist with the City of South Bend, with offices on the 5th floor of this building. This is bill, excuse me. This is bill number 70-25 for a special exception by the owner of 1417 West Indiana Avenue to permit a dwelling, 2 units in the urban neighborhood 1 district. So the applicant intends to build a stacked duplex on a currently vacant lot. Here's a picture of the lot as it currently stands. And here is a proposed site plan for the project, as well as an example of the city pre-approved duplex that the petitioner intends on building on the lot. The use of a 2-unit dwelling is consistent with objective H 1.1 from the city's comprehensive plan, which is to encourage residential developments that contain a mix of housing types, densities, price ranges, and amenities. And it is also consistent with Project Idea 11 from the 2022 Rum Village Neighborhood Plan, which is to fill vacant underutilized lots with low to medium density residential development. And this petition comes to you with a favorable recommendation from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
All right, is the petitioner here?
Yes, I believe they should be online.
Yes, I am.
Okay,
evening.
wonderful. Please state your name and your address, and then go ahead and share a little bit more about your project, and we will then discuss it.
My name is Kamlar Talut, owner of KT Solutions. I acquired the property about 6 months ago, and I had a desire to develop it up to build a duplexes to do affordable housing. Sorry, I reside at 2630 Pittsburgh Street, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay.
And so I seek approval, the ability to build on them if when the time is right for us.
All right. Thank you. Do we have questions, comments from our community members? Or okay. Any others things that you'd like to share? If not, we'll go to the public. Anybody from the public like to speak in favor online or here in the chambers?
I do not see anyone wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
Okay. Like anybody would like to speak in opposition online or here in the public?
I do not see anyone wishing to speak in opposition.
We closed the public hearing. I'm glad to see this coming to the 6th district down the street. And we will now need to have what's your pleasure?
I'd like to make the motion that Bill 7025 move forward with a favorable recommendation.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, our clerk, could you please take the roll?
Councilmember White? Councilmember Warner?
Aye.
Citizen Member Stacy Odom?
Aye.
And Committee Chair Dr. Davis?
Aye.
It passes.
Okay, cool. We look forward to seeing you tonight at the 7 o'clock meeting. Thanks for being online. We'll see you online again. Now we move to bill number 7125, special exception 1409, West Indiana Avenue, still in the 6th district, right down the street. Go for it.
Yes. Hello again, Mark Dellastrito, zoning specialist with the City of South Bend. The office is on the 5th floor of this building. This is petition number 71-25 for a special exception by the owner of 1409 West Indiana Avenue to permit a dwelling, 2 units in the urban neighborhood 1 district. This petition is essentially the exact same as the previous one. The petitioner is the same. The parcel is just 2 over from the prior one, it's shown in this image here. And the petitioner intends to build the same stacked duplex on another vacant lot. We just had, they were required to do two separate petitions because they're separated by the middle parcel. So, yeah, essentially the same petition. And this also comes to you with a favorable recommendation from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Thank you. And we go back again to our petitioner. Could you do it for the record again? Please state your name and your address and then share your thoughts.
Hi, my name is Kamlar Talut, owner of KT Solutions LLC. I reside at 2630 Pittsburgh Street, Fort Wayne, Indiana. My desire is to build up these duplexes so that we could have more affordable housing. I know the area is short of new builds, so I'd like to try to start it off if I can.
All right. Again, all right, we thank you. Any questions for the committee? Anybody? All right, we go to the public. Those who'd like to speak in favor, whether you're here in the chambers or online, please share your thoughts.
I do not see anyone wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
Okay, those who would like to speak in opposition of this bill, please do likewise.
I do not see anyone wishing to speak in opposition.
I appreciate that. We close the public hearing and we bring it back to the our committee for their recommendation regarding this bill in the 6th district.
I'll make a motion that Bill 71-25 move forward with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
Okay, would you please take the roll?
Councilmember White?
Aye.
Councilmember Warner?
Aye.
Citizen Member Stacy Odom?
Aye.
Committee Chair Dr. Davis?
Aye.
The motion passes.
Awesome. Thank you. We'll see you again tonight at 7 p.m.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You're welcome. And now we have our last one for this zoning annexation meeting will be Bill number 7225, special exception at 1101 Elliott Street. Ready for our presentation?
Good afternoon, board members. Tim Staub with offices on the, Tim Staub, zoning specialist for the city of South Bend with offices on the 5th floor. Before you is bill number 7225, a special exception by the owners of 1101 Elliott Street to modify an existing one-unit dwelling home or detached home and convert it into a two-unit dwelling. The applicant is seeking to divide their existing detached home into 2 units to permit their child and their child's college friend to each have independent functioning units. Under the code, this would be treated as an ancillary dwelling use. However, it is prohibited to have an ancillary unit without the owner living on the property in U1 zoned on a U1 zone property. The only way forward would be to use a variance or a use variance or a special exception to permit a 2-unit dwelling home on the property. So here's kind of more images of it. There will be no expansion of the existing living space, but merely a division of it. This should not cause any injurious effects to the general welfare of the community, and it will keep with the neighborhood's character. This petition comes to you with a favorable recommendation from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay. And any concerns with neighbors? Any issue that you were aware of?
None to my knowledge.
Okay, thank you. All righty. Do we have our, any questions? For a person? Okay, cool. Do we have our petitioner?
They should be online.
Yes, sir. Okay, could you please identify yourself and your name and then state your address and then proceed with what you would like to do at 1101 Elliott Street?
Sure thing. Thank you. My
You're
name is
welcome.
Ivan Lopez. I reside at 2355 Bondurant Drive, Grovetown, Georgia. And the intention is basically to formalize this this acquisition that we did on behalf for our daughter. She actually resides on the front of the property with her husband, and we basically came to find out that we needed to put a special request for the permission in order to be considered a 2-unit. Like Tim said, no extra construction will be done. It's simply to formalize the paperwork. Thank you.
All right. Okay. We heard what he would like to do for his daughter. Any comments, any questions, any concerns? Tell you, being a father of daughters touched my heart, just what you said. Okay, we go to the public. I'd like those who speak in favor, please share your thoughts, whether you're online or whether you are in present.
I do not see anyone wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
Those who speak in opposition, please do likewise.
I do not see anyone wishing to speak in opposition.
Public hearing is now closed, and now we are back to our committee to share what our wishes regarding this father wants to do for his daughter.
I make a motion to send Bill 7225 forward to the 7 p.m. meeting with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
Okay, could you please take the roll?
Councilmember White?
Aye.
Councilmember Warner?
Aye.
Citizen Member Stacy Odom?
Aye.
Committee Chair Dr. Davis?
Aye, I wish I knew how to do those things for my daughter. That'd be wonderful. That's great. All righty, thank you, sir. We'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock. And the Zoning and Annexation Committee is now adjourned. Thank you.
Just a quick informal for tonight's meeting. Invocation will be Pastor Jim Clark from Grace United Methodist Church. The pledge, roll call, report from the subcommittee on minutes for October 27th. Special business, there's none. Report from city officers. We will have a report from Daryl Scott. We'll go to committee of the whole. And then bills on third reading. and resolutions. And then we'll have no first readings tonight. Unfinished business, new business, approval of the 2026 Common Council meeting dates, privilege of the floor, and adjournment. Thank you very much. We'll see you tonight at 7.